almost getting arrested twice, running across a freeway twice, losing all my money, traveling to different countries. This story gets crazy, and I promise you, it only gets better from here. So, let's rewind to the beginning. Let's say it's right after your freshman year. Your dad's girlfriend kicks you out for being a useless loser, and you find yourself sleeping on the floor of an old garage, working 2 jobs, and after a few months, you saved up 1,500 bucks. What are you gonna do with that money? Are you gonna do the wise thing and save it, make sure you have enough money to eat for the next few months? Of course not. We're gonna play it big. You wanna prove to your family that you're not useless, you're not a loser, you're a winner. And what's the best way to do that? By making it big in Hollywood. So, how do we become rich and famous in Hollywood? Well, that's easy. A lot of award-winning film directors get their start by making short films, submitting it to big Hollywood film festivals, turning it into a low-budget movie that explodes in popularity and bursts them into stardom, resulting in their family having to admit that they're a winner, loving them again, and letting them back into their home. So now, the only thing we need to do is make a short film. And that's where the problems start. So first things first, what's the story actually about? The story follows a kid who was born in Mexico, and he wants to be the world's best soccer player. So what he does is cross the border illegally, runs across a freeway, and then makes it to America and follows his dream. Kinda like Naruto, but for soccer players. So I write the script, I storyboard the entire thing, and I get to work. Now, to make a film, we have to do a couple of things. The first and most important one is gather a crew. Second is find a location to film. And third is the most important shot, get the freeway scene filmed first. Which led to a lot of trouble. But first things first, find a crew. So what do? Well, I put out an online casting call on this website. And after going through over 100 submissions, I landed on these guys. So I hired all those actors, sent them the script, and told them get ready because we're going to film sometime in February. Next thing I need to do was find a musician. That was maybe the most important part, bro. I found one musician whose music I absolutely love. It's my boy Radu. I promise you, bro, me and Radu, we're like this. We're like brothers. I love that guy, bro. We're like very good friends. He composed 2 songs for the film, which I'll play in the background right now. Now, I needed to find a place to actually film. Unfortunately, in California, you can't just go to a park and film with your friends. You need to get filming permits and a lot of other stuff, which I tried to get around, and I'll show you why that was a bad idea later. So I promise you, bro, I drove for hours and hours trying to find a location that we could film at. Originally, I went to the border. The border patrol mistook me for someone trying to illegally cross the border, and they stopped me time after time. I was like, you know what? Maybe filming a film about illegally crossing the border at the border isn't the best idea. But I scanned place after place after place, and I couldn't find anything. That was until I found a state park that was perfect. It was huge, it looked like the border, but there was one small problem. Now, technically, we're not allowed to film at the state park, but it's really big and people film themselves off-roading here all the time, so it'll be fine. Now that we have the first location out of the way, it's time to move on to the second and more important one. You see, the entire film revolves around the most important part, at the end, where he has to run across a freeway. And I had no idea how I would do this. And after nothing was looking good, I was getting desperate, and was even considering running across an actual freeway, which isn't too far off from what happened. But eventually, I found this video online. Which was made by this guy, Magia. And remember him because he's important to our story now. And I said, hey, that's pretty close to what I want to do. So I reached out to the guy who originally made it, and I hired him to do the VFX. He told me what I had to do, and what I had to do was crazy, bro. I had to find a freeway, run across the freeway, and he would add the cars in post-production. So that's what he told me, and I absolutely did not do any of that. And I did it all CGI, bros, with green screen. So there you go. Now this shot is the most important in the entire movie. Without it, the whole movie doesn't work. But luckily, thanks to the help of Magia and a freeway that was slightly less busy, everything was finally coming together and looking like an actual movie. So now, what's the next step your boys gotta take? Well, you see, I kind of forgot to mention one gigantic, major issue. Outside of 2 intro to film classes I had to take at my school, I had no idea how to make a film. And one other thing too. Filming was in 2 weeks! And I'm spending close to 600 bucks, aka half of all the money I have, into hiring these actors for 2 days. So, I get to work. I had to learn how to make videos. So bro, I promise you, at this point, I never made a video in my life before, bro, I promise you. But I have no idea what I'm doing. I studied a ton in video production, and I did so many tests with it, bro. I promise you. I tried different lighting techniques, different frame rates, different camera lenses, color grading, Premiere Pro, storytelling, audio recording, lav mics, boom mics, pan shots, zoom shots, dolly shots. And I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty easy, bro. You point a camera at something, you say action, you do some stuff. It's not rocket science. It's way easier than making video games. By the way, you should go watch those videos. I don't even know why I was trying to scare you guys, acting like it's a lie. It's not. I was just trying to build up tension for the really bad stuff that happens next. Anyways, finally, after 2 weeks of doing all this studying on top of going to school and working full time, it was 1 day away from filming. And I promise you, bro, I was so nervous the night before. Like, I couldn't sleep at all. I spent the entire night staring at the roof, just thinking, what if all this goes wrong? What if the film comes out bad? What if I have no idea what I'm doing and this comes out like the worst thing ever? Spent so much time and effort and money, especially when I don't have any. Like, I promise you, every day I eat 2 packets of ramen noodles and then I go to bed. What if I'm just wasting my time? What if the film doesn't blow up and my family doesn't even see it? And it doesn't even get me any closer to getting back into their home? What if I'll actually never be let back in and I'll actually not be able to see my little sister grow up at all? And I'll be stuck spending my birthdays and Christmas and Thanksgiving alone like I have been for the past year, but forever. But thinking like this is for losers, I said a prayer, took a quick nap, and woke up with a winning attitude, ready to make the greatest film of all time. And it was finally time to make the film. And this is what I call the day of disaster. Everybody met up in the morning, like 6, 7 a.m. And the location I found where we could film it at was like an hour and a half away. We started driving off. We had an ATV, we had everything, bro. We were ready to go. And then, disaster struck, bro. So we were looking for a spot to film the very first scene, and I promise you, bro, this was heartbreaking. Before we even started taking before we even hit action, bro.
Video, I'm just riding around over there. What's the difference?
Exactly. No, it's the same as a GoPro on a thing.
Yeah.
Nothing is different.
The park ranger pulled up on us, told us we need a permit. Now, if we don't get out of here, we're gonna get arrested. And I was like, bro, Not only do I have 3 men with me that I all promised to pay money, borrowed an ATV, drove 2 hours, wasted so much money, and now I have to bring all that money down the drain and we have to drive back. So we drive back, we get some burgers on the way home, and everyone was cool about it. I had told them it'd be a 2-day shoot, but then we all agreed. I just paid them the 1 day because they felt bad for me too, because they knew I didn't have a lot of money. So shout out to those guys, I appreciate you guys. And I felt terrible, bro. Not only did I waste their time, not only did I waste their future, I also failed myself, bro. I put so many hours into this, and it was just crashed out and destroyed before I even began. So I went home and I slept, bro, and I was so sad. And then the worst part of it all. So Radu, he's from Romania, and if this movie does well and gets traction, it'll help Radu's career a lot. Because it's pretty hard for foreign composers to get jobs in LA, and he did a great job, bro. So much effort. He just put everything, his heart and soul into these songs, and I thought it'd be a great move for his career. And now I don't even have a film for him. So I'm messaging Radu, and I did say this was the worst part, but it's not the worst part, bro. This is where the story begins. Forget everyone who I worked with. Now the only relevant characters are Radu and me. We're a 2-man team. So here's what happened. I messaged Radu, bro. I said I was sad. I wasn't really sad, bro. I was determined to make this film a success. So here's what I did. I messaged Radu. I said, Radu, I have terrible news, bro. Terrible, terrible news. So we went out to film, and the police stopped us, and we couldn't film that day. So all the money, all the planning, all down the drain. But here's where it's gonna get better, Radu. I promise you, my friend, I've already wasted all this money. A smart person might say, you know what? Maybe filmmaking isn't for me. Let me do something less ambitious. Let me do something, smaller film maybe, you know what I mean? Especially since it's my first one. But that's how losers think, and we're winners, bro, come on. So here's what I did. I said, Radu, I'm gonna rewrite the script. I'm gonna make sure it's 100 times better than it was before. The scope of the movie before, bro, wasn't big enough. We're gonna make it bigger. We're gonna make it better, and I'm gonna need 2 new songs. So here's where it changed. The original short film would just be a scene in the desert where they're crossing the border and he makes it. But in the new film, that's only half of it, because the first half is gonna be a flashback of when he's in Mexico, training to become good, being poor, and then eventually saving up enough money to cross the border. So bro, I promise you, I worked so hard for a couple of months, saved up enough money, and eventually I went down to Mexico. So when I finally got down to Mexico, I told my friends, we're making a film. And my friends are so loyal, so badass, bro. They're like, all right, say less, how do we get this done? So me and my friends, we make a practice film, right? So here are my boys. Is my boy Sergio, my boy Chelas, my boy Jaime, my boy Samuel, my boy Diego, my friend Jorge, my friend Noel, my friend El Gallo. We have our priest Rafael, and so many others, bros. I love them all. I have all my boys, bro, and we get together and we make a film. And by the way, bros, they're doing all this for free as a favor for me. I was so grateful for them, bro. So I rewrite the entire script. I make sure the dialogue is 1,000 times better. I record myself and make a mock version of the film to make sure that the audio is better. I take test shots. I test my camera 1,000 times, making sure everything looks good. Lighting tests, color grading tests. I do everything, bro, because I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm gonna do it anyways. And this is where the story gets even better. So now that everybody knows how to make a film, we start working, bro. So I show them the storyboard. I show them what we're gonna do. So now it's time to film. So this story will be kind of hard because it has two versions of me. One with my little cousin playing older me, and one with me playing me. So the new story begins with the main character walking into a poor old house, reading a letter from his mom. And the mom's pretty much saying, very sorry I passed away without leaving you anything, my son. But here's a photo of your father. Go find him and you'll be all set. And he pulls up the photo and it's a picture of a famous soccer player. So the little kid works on a ranch for a lot of hours during the day, saves up enough money, buys a soccer ball. Then he finds his dad. But as he runs up to his dad, the dad abandons him, leaving him there alone. Then the father passes away. The kid burns the photo of his dad because he hates him. And he trains to be an even better soccer player. And as he trains to be a better soccer player, he keeps working hard on the ranch. And then time passes and it's me playing the character. He keeps working hard on the ranch. He saves up a ton of money. And then he crosses the border. And that's where the American scenes would start. And working with kids is usually pretty hard, but my little cousin, he's a genius, bro. I don't know what to tell him. Like, he memorized all his lines like this. He was a good actor. He was practical. He knew what he was doing, bro. It was so easy. I love my cousin, bro. He's the best. And all my friends helped me film, and they were the best. So there's that. I finished editing so I could show my friends. We showed it on the movie. I said, all right, guys, now I gotta go back to America to finish the rest of the film. The deadline for South by Southwest, the biggest film festival in the world that'll guarantee me success, and make sure that all my hard work wasn't for nothing, is coming up in 3 weeks. So I had to work fast. And this is where the final story starts. So now we're back in America. I've rewritten the script, the dialogue's better. Now all I have to do is do everything I already did again. And here's how it goes wrong. So you remember that very important freeway scene that we filmed earlier and had shot and edited? Yeah, well, watch this. So I reach out to my friend Magia. So Magia had originally sent me the file, right? But I got a brand new computer and I kind of deleted that file. I was like, all right, Magia, could you please send it to me one more time? I really need it. And he says, oh, about that, I deleted it too. I was like, no, bro. So I literally had to run across the freeway again. I mean, I had to use CGI to cross the freeway again, send the footage back over to my bro, and he edited it pretty fast, like in 3 days. So shout out to my boy Magia. So remember how last time the entire thing went crashing down because we didn't have any filming permits? Well, I still haven't found a solution for that. However, luckily for me, one of my father's best friends owns a giant ranch in the middle of nowhere. And I asked, hey, is it cool if I film a video there? He said, yeah, sure, we have a ton of space in the back. I said, thank you so much, bro. I love you guys. Shout out to Trujillos. So now that we got 2 out of the 4 big problems we have out of the way, we still have to do 2 more things. 1, cast new actors because the original ones can't be in the new one. So I did that, so here's the new crew. And 2, you remember how the Border Patrol guy had a costume? Well, hear this. Bro, I promise you, I spent like $100 on the Border Patrol costume, and the dude who played the Border Patrol had taken it home that day. But he's busy because, you know, he has a wife and kids, and he didn't see the text I sent him. And I need the costume by tomorrow, because that's when we film. But he had to work the day we were set to film. I remember I was so scared, bro. I went to the church, and I prayed, oh, Mother Mary, please, please, pray for me. Please help me. I'm so scared. I failed so hard last time, and this time I don't know what I'm gonna do. And I really need this costume. So, after I finished praying, I literally went to the place where the Border Patrol guy worked, because he worked super close to the church. I walked in, I said, hey, how's it going, man? By the way, you remember that costume? And I was able to follow him home, and he had the costume, and it was clean, it was pristine, so shout out to my bro, I love you. Thank you for that costume. Shout out to Mother Mary too, long live Christ the King. So what happens next? So, to film this part in America, it's 2 days of shooting. Basically what's gonna happen is we're gonna get caught by the border patrol. He's gonna chase us in his car. We're gonna run away. He's gonna catch the other immigrant, Mahesh. Then I go to save Mahesh, but then I fail hard. And then Mahesh ends up saving me. And we run away. So that was day 1 of filming. Day 2, we go to the second location. Mahesh and I split up because his leg got injured when he saved me from the border patrol. He runs off. Then I call the border patrol to me. Then he chases me to a dead end where I'm stuck in front of the freeway. I have an anime moment where I tell him why I'm going to America and why I can't give up. Then he runs across the freeway, turns around, looks at the border patrol, and does this. So we filmed that and it's done. And the original idea from there was once all this is done and we make it in South by Southwest, that can be the intro of the movie, and then the real plot, which I had all written down and scripted, can actually begin. And I promise you, bro, it's gonna go hard. It's like Naruto, but better. And in real life. And then all the filming is complete. I edit it, I send it out to South by Southwest and Sundance Film Festivals, and we wait. So I waited. If I look at my phone one day and see the notification at the top of my screen, congratulations, you've been accepted. My life changes forever. A month from now on my birthday, I'll wake up in my old room. All will be forgiven. I'll see my dog again. He'll wake me up in the morning. I'll go grab my sister and bring her down to the kitchen with me. I'll see a giant cake sitting on the table for me. Then everyone will pop up under the counter and start singing happy birthday for me. I won't have to spend the day alone. This whole journey we've been on together, it can't be for nothing. And a month later, we get the news. And the news said we got rejected from South by Southwest. But on the bright side, Sundance also rejected us. I submitted to like 10 other film festivals. And we got into 2 of them. 1 Best First Time Director, and we also did pretty good in other film festivals too. And that's how I became an award-winning— Wait! Don't go! I'm desperate. This is the most important part of the video. Because you see, there's actually a much better way to get into Hollywood. If a short film goes viral online, it often leads to that film getting turned into a full movie. So theoretically, if I posted it online right now, you could go watch it. And if it goes viral, who knows where it'll go.